Yo, what's up? Welcome into the SWEATBOX EQUINOX, the only day on the sports calendar in the year 2025 where we have sporting events in all four major sports, five if you count the MLS Playoffs. Tonight, we've got the World Series Game 3 from Los Angeles, Dodgers and Toronto, all knotted up a game apiece. That one's fixing to start in about 5 to 7 minutes in LA. Scherzer going for Toronto, Glasnow for the Dodgers. Dodgers laying about $1.90, come back between 165, 170, maybe a little higher. First time in the series, I've actually kind of liked Toronto in one of these games. I still think the series price a little low, lean Dodgers there. In the NFL, we wrap up the week with Monday Night Football. Washington playing in Kansas City against the Chiefs. Favorites have had a field day this weekend. I'm sure most of the books are rooting for the dog to win this game outright to knock out some of the exposure to money line parlays and teasers. 10-2 yesterday against the spread, straight up were the favorites. 9-1-2 over to under, but as good as 11-1 if you found the right prices to overs. The two losses yesterday, notably, were the Bengals at home to the Jets, Atlanta at home to Miami. Two big losses because those were games that were used in teasers as well. So the books maybe not did as bad as you might have thought. Conceivable given all the rest of the results with favorites and overs. Other parts of the Equinox, counting the MLS playoffs, you've got hockey. A couple games tonight, Boston, Ottawa, just underway in Canada, 1-1 in the first. St. Louis playing Pittsburgh on the NHL Network, 2-2. That game just started the second. Pittsburgh 2 goals in the first 80 seconds. St. Louis knotted up at the end of one. And in the NBA, the Peacock game tonight, Cleveland at Detroit. That's the national network. That looks like there's a total of 11 games in the association. 2 of them are underway. The rest of them are going to go in the next, let's see, there's 4 of them going in the next minute or two, and then the Lakers and Portland are the last game tonight, 10:40 Eastern. Glasnow toes the rubber for the Dodgers tonight. This will be his third career start in the World Series. Against the Toronto lineup, again, the Jays were winners in Game 1. Dodgers get a complete game shutout from the $325 million Japanese pitcher in Game 2. There's a reason why you pay that kind of money for guys like that. 2 straight complete games for him. And sunny afternoon in LA. Should be no real issue with the shadows. Late enough start time today. I know in Game 1 against Philadelphia, I think the game started at 3 Pacific time, and there was an issue in the 3rd or 4th inning with shadows, but combine that with this game starting, what is it, almost 2 weeks after that one. Combine that with the later starting time, and you've got a situation where shouldn't be any issue with the shadows, and it's quite warm out west. So good hitting environment, the total being about 8 flat, a little bit money to the over. This has been the highest total of the 3. First few games in Toronto were a little lower. Mark Wegner behind the plate tonight. He is the crew chief. Wegner's strike zone in the past used to be a sort of an under guy. Haven't followed him as much this year. Obviously, if he's good enough to be a crew chief in the World Series, he's clearly good at what he does. Although after this year, I'm not sure how much that'll matter as we start with the ABS system next season, where whether the umpire makes a mistake or not, you're going to at least have a chance to tell him that he's wrong and the video can prove you correct or not. Dodgers are trotting out the same 9 that they have each of the first 2 games. I think Toronto's made a couple of lineup changes predicated on who the Dodgers have pitching. So, 2 NHL games, some MLS soccer playoffs for good taste. An NFL game in Kansas City. The Chiefs laying 10.5 at home. This game was actually as high as 12.5 earlier in the week. Some Redskin money came in over the last day or so. Game was actually 10 about an hour and a half ago. It went back up here towards the very end. Redskins have all their receivers back, but they're missing their starting quarterback, Mariota, one of the best 5 or 6 backups in the league. So potentially not going to be a horrible drop-off. Again, he runs similar style to the starter, Daniels, and therefore the offense shouldn't be too handcuffed. I liken that analogy to the Ravens yesterday when they got Huntley back starting at quarterback and not having Lamar Jackson. It hurt, but Huntley's playing style is much closer to Jackson's. Therefore, you're getting something similar to that rather than Cooper Rush, who has no mobility and isn't really a threat to do anything with his legs at all. So I'll keep an eye on the coin tosses here to see who gets the ball first in Kansas City. All the numbers for next week in the college football, I finished up last night, but did some tweaking this morning, and then I've got all next week's NFL. So if anyone wants to chat about that, feel free to ask away. and we'll go over any of that. First pitch in Los Angeles to Springer. Actually, 3 pitches in. It's 1-2. And National Anthem in Kansas City is finished. Again, these NBA games just started, top of the hour. Total of 6 of them are basically underway as we speak. Glass sets Springer down. He's actually hit home runs in 3 straight games at this facility, dating back to his days in Houston. Public enemy number 1. As much cheating as he did with the Astros in that 2017 series where they beat the Yankees first and then the Dodgers in the World Series, that was mostly done at home. So, his work here on the road, I guess you can't really argue too much with it. First pitch fastball to Lukes. Slide to left. Oh, good job by the kid in foul territory to move out of the way. Caught and left. 2 down. 5 pitches in. Nice, convenient, neat start for Glasnow. You may hear some background noise today that you usually don't. It's the first time that I've done anything where I've got somebody here with me while I'm working. Tonight it's my parents. Just went and scooped them up at the airport. They are in to visit for the week. It's a great time to visit Las Vegas. Wonderful weather this time of year. Combine that with the necessity of having to help me get involved with the medical procedure and get me to and from the facility on Wednesday. And good enough reason for him to come, I guess. I do appreciate it. Certainly, it's going to be good to see him, and I'll be here tonight through halftime of the football game, and then we'll just see how the baseball game plays out to decide how long that I work today. Tomorrow, probably a good chance I won't be streaming during the World Series of the college football, just for the simple fact that I'll be on a liquid diet, and good chance I won't be doing much of anything. Wednesday, I'll be under the inducement of anesthetics, several drugs, probably in no shape to work as well. So I'll try to see you guys back here on Thursday night. But figured I'd put in certainly a shift tonight and get us going. It's the Equinox, for Christ's sakes. If you're not working, if you're not streaming tonight, if you're not watching tonight, what are you doing with your life? Toronto goes down in order in the first. Dodgers coming to bat. No score. Don't see the live prices up there yet, so I may have to hit a refresh of the line service. See if I can get Chris and Pinnacle at the very least to show what the live prices are. And then, of course, the series going in, the Dodgers were laying, 240, 250, and I thought it should be higher than that, which was, again, a direct contradiction to my side price tonight. But the way I see it going in is that all of the numbers that I make going forward have the Dodgers higher. Tonight just so happens, and I'm not anti-Glasnow. I just think that he's the weak link, and I think that Scherzer is being radically mispriced based on he's a bulldog. The guy's the guy that I want on my team in these kind of games. And I'd give him the ball, and I wouldn't think twice about it. If it came down to him or Bassett or whoever else, it's just for me, it's a no-brainer. I guess we'll find out if I'm right or not. Looking forward to seeing it. Live price, basically, Dodgers, let's call it $240. Come back $2, give or take. Circa has 205. 7.5 flat, a little bit of under money at a couple places here. I'll need to clear the mechanism real fast before I start quoting any of these prices as being live, just to confirm they're not. None of them were done before first pitch. I hadn't cleared my screen. Football game, big crash. Chris went to 9 lay 14, Paradise Wager 9.5 flat. Underway. Redskins return the kickoff out past the 42. That's where they'll get started. And again, I'll have to clear off my screen there. Okay, I've done so. Perfect. So now we're ready to rock and roll. Closing total was 48 in this game. I need to chart that kickoff, actually. My dad wants to watch the Manning cast. I don't blame him. I usually like that myself. Problem is that's on a delay. I do have both these games tonight on the live feed. The football game is on ABC, so I'm ahead of you guys there with the antenna, and the baseball game is on Big Fox, and therefore I'm ahead of you there. If he puts on the Manning cast, that's on ESPN2, and that's about a 90-second to 2-minute delay, which is no good. I'm going to put it on for him. That way at least he'll have it in case if he really wants to sit next to it and sweat it out later on. He can do it. I doubt he will. They went for a little walk. It's hot as hell in here. 88 degrees. The sun's been beaten. I've even closed the blinds, and it's still hot. I apologize on their behalf. They've been in a plane all day, so they went for a walk. Ohtani rips one down the right field line. It's a fair ball into the corner. It's either going to be a ground rule double or a stand-up double, one or the other. He's dancing. Redskins, Mariota's run, I think, was good enough for a first down. They moved the sticks out to the Kansas City 45. 90 seconds in. Redskins, 7 points in their opening drive, last in the league, and they're giving up more than 7 points in the first quarter. 7.5 or something per game in the first quarter, which is last in the league. They've gotten behind by double figures in 4 games. Just a bunch of bad starts in a row here. I'm actually curious to see whether they won the toss and deferred tonight, or if Kansas City won the toss and deferred, which is what I'm guessing happened. But if I'm just curious because the Redskins have been playing so bad at the start of games, maybe they won the toss and took the ball. Nope, Chiefs won the toss and deferred. So there you go. This is like this is tough. This is tough. This is fun. It's tough. Two big games going on at the same time, and I got to figure out between the audio and talking to you guys and everything. This is great. This is exactly what I envisioned it to be. Who could ask for anything more? Betts has worked Scherzer to a 2-2 count. 3rd and 3, Mariota keeps it on a little run right. We had option. There were option tendencies to it, but the way that they blocked it was basically a quarterback keep the whole time. Yeah, they had a pulling guard out there. Forget about it. No chance to stop it. The right fielder calls off Vladdy to make the play on the little pop-up by Betts. He's out. 1 down, man on second. Runner does not advance. Mariota's passes to the outside, gets a block. Let's call it a 9-yard gain. Second and 1 for Washington. 10.5 to go in the first. Motion right for the tight end. The give is to Merritt. Krosky Merritt, I guess. First down run for about 4. Freeman popped up to the third baseman. He's gone. 2 down. Ohtani's still stuck at second. Oh, Deebo Samuel drops it and it's picked off. Just a catastrophic turn of events for the Redskins here. Mariota's pass was right to him, and he just was trying to run before he caught it. It hit him in the hands, and the linebacker for the Chiefs, who's going to have to make a play, just said, "Look what I found." That is a horrific turn of events. Everything that was going good there hit him right in the face. So the Chiefs will start at their own 23. After the timeout, 5 minutes and 18 seconds, yields nothing for Washington. Chiefs will take over. Live price, 10.5. There is some 11 out there. Total, 44.5, 45. So Smith steps in against Scherzer, 1-2 with 2 down. Max is after the Ohtani leadoff double into the corner. Still only throwing 13 pitches, so nothing's gotten out of hand here yet. The 1-2. Laid off with the slow curve. Total 44.5, 45, 45.5. Again, this game opened closer to like 51, 52, and it was 48 at close. But a lot of that opening had to do with the quarterback for the Redskins, the starter, playing, the LSU kid Danielson, but he's not playing, obviously. My number on that game actually had him in originally 7-52. So with him out, basically you tack on 3 points or so for Mariota, 10 and 49. So I'm pretty close here. No strong opinion. I've also got one of my TVs on the Jamaica, on the Ryan Hall Y'all, the weather guy, Ryan Hall Y'all's weather bot, which is showing a bunch of camera views from Jamaica about the hurricane. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on what's happening there too. There's also has been a lot of rain in Florida last couple days. So in addition to the equinox of sports, I've also got weather going on here. So we got it all, even on a Monday night. And I can't believe that Debo, of all the guys that do that, that's the one. I really thought he'd have a monster game tonight. Still might. Struck him out on the curveball, inning it over for the Dodgers. No runs in the first. Nerfy is the winner. Take it down. Cashing. No score, end of 1. Dodgers laying $1.85, $1.90, comeback 60-ish, give or take, 55 at some places. Total now down to 7 flat, 7 under a little bit. Circa has 6.5 over 35. Again, that's a pretty big drop off from the 8 flat that it was at open. I actually think that you'd have a little bit of value trying to go over anything less than 7. 7 even money or plus money would be bettable. 6.5, I wouldn't want to lay 35. It's not worth that much yet. Mahomes was back. Nothing was there, and they did get him from behind. $55, pretty much beat up on the left tackle, which will be the story of the night. The Redskins are going to do a whole lot. 3rd and 10 for the Chiefs. 1 back, 2 receivers to each side. Motion left now, trips left. Redskins showed a blitz. They drop out, 4-man rush. Mahomes looking to run it. It's going to take him too long to get it, I think. It's close. No, they're going to give him a good spot. First down, Kansas City, gain of about 11. Unless he walked it back. Kind of the coverage was good, but there's no spy, and it took them way too long to get to him. Oh, he's short, but not by much. I don't know what the arrow on the bottom of the field where the first down is. It's impossible to know where that is. Oh, they're wanting the old clock reset, and they didn't get it. So the Chiefs have to call a timeout. All right. So 4th and half yard, I guess. 7:41 to go. Chiefs are laying 10, 45 under. Good God, Rexy. Hunt bangs it up the middle for about 5 and a first down. They'll move the sticks. Nobody got to him until he was 4 yards downfield. So Glass now an 8-pitch first. Throws 2 balls to Bichette before a strike, high strike on a fastball. Run the ball again for maybe a yard this time. Fastball up and in, 3-1. Bichette pops one into center field for a base hit. Leadoff single for Toronto to start the inning. Long pass on 2nd and 9. Is that worthy? First down, Chiefs. First big play of the game down to the Washington 27. 6 minutes or so to go in the first. Good piece of hitting by Bichette. Holmes tried to hit Worthy again on kind of a go. Incomplete. Barstow swings to the 2-1, a 2-0 strike. Mahomes hit as he throws. Incomplete to Kelsey. 5:40 to go. 3rd and 10 now. And the left tackle for the Chiefs is he don't have a chance against this guy. Completely lost over there. They're going to have to definitely find somebody to help that guy out. All right. So the Redskins' opponents are 2 for 30 on 3rd down and 10 plus this year. Obviously a monster play here if they can get out of this thing without any damage. Oh boy. Toronto's ran themselves into a double play. Mahomes is picked off by the right corner for the Redskins, and they're going to take it back inside the 10. Is that Lattimore? They've been picking on that guy all season. He finally gets a little bit of a revenge. So each team has thrown an interception on the first drive. One was the fault of the quarterback, the other the fault of a Washington receiver. 5:35 to go in the first. Washington takes over inside their own 10, no score. So he got picked off. Yeah, that was a really weird sequence. The whole sequence was weird. Yeah, that was just an oddball set of events. Marshall takes ball 4, so Toronto has a man back on first now. But certainly the situation's far less dire than it would be for Glasnow if it was first and second, nobody out. Live price Chiefs 7.5. There is some 8 out there. Total 41. I don't know. I've watched baseball for 30 years. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Just a really weird play. Yeah, this guy's an absolute hitting machine. Base hit to right. Just a great piece of hitting, typical for that guy. One of the best catchers in the league, and also easily one of the best 2 or 3 hitting catchers in the league. First and third for Toronto on that single to right. It's just an inside-out swing that's as good as anybody's got. First and third, 1 out. You can tell the Bards are just trying to do something to lift it to the outfield and get the run in. There is some decent speed at first. Kirk has a piano on his back at first. Skins will start at their own 7, I guess is where we'll call this. They don't have a script, or if they do, whatever they were doing in the last drive, just keep doing it. The Debo drop was just a freak bad luck play. It took it right down the field. Oh, and 2 to Barger. High heat, you're me. 2 down, big strikeout. Tunsil questionable with the hamstring, so Coleman in to replace him, but blooper to center, hangs up too long. Paez makes the play. Toronto strands 2 in the second. Really weird inning. Probably deserved a better fate. Mariota throws it to the back. It's caught. That's Crosby Merritt. First down out towards the 40. $25-yard gain. They'll move the sticks. Clock inside of 4 minutes here in the first. So Toronto 2 hits and a walk, and they get nothing because of a runner picked off on first on a play where the base runner thought it was ball 4. That's just was a really weird sequence. Mariota rolls right again, fires right again, caught again. Is that McCaffrey? That's a good catch. I don't know if his left foot's down or not. His right one definitely is. Yeah, that's a catch. All right. God, that's such a good play. Give him 15. First down again, Washington to KC territory. They dump it to the tight end. That's Ertz. Give him like a 6-yard gain. Inside of 3 minutes to go. Live price now inside of a touchdown for the Chiefs. Total in the 41-ish range. Baseball, the Dodgers 240, give or take. 6.5 flat for the most part. I'd almost be interested in over now just after the way Toronto was so close to having a decent-sized inning there. Here's Corey Crosby Merritt, a.k.a. Bill, again. Makes his way for a couple. Clock moving, 2 minutes to go, third short. Plenty of time here for Mariota. He's going to tuck it and go. That's not a good idea. They got him in the backfield. Karlaftis going to be a 2-yard loss. Back to the 40. It'll be a very long field goal from here. They may go for this. It'll be about 4th and 5. Muncie pops up to right field. 1 down. At the 40, they're going to go for it. Trips right, back offset to the left out of the gun. Mariota fires it. Complete. That's Ertz at the sticks. Going to have enough. Noticed it was interesting last night. They pulled out the expedited review at the very end there, but it was like under a circumstance. It's like, how do you know when you're supposed to have the expedited review and when does someone actually have to challenge? There's way too much ambiguities in that. I mean, yesterday the fact that the Eagles were allowed to run that stupid play and it worked, but they fumbled and they couldn't review it. I mean, that's not right because of the inadvertent whistle. I mean, well, there you go. What's the expedited review and inadvertent whistles and you're allowed to challenge? I mean, there has to be some uniformity. Fix that. The guy on the field got the spot right. It's a first down for the Redskins. That's a terrible spot. If that yellow line's right, they're going to have to redo that. Given where the chains were on the field and where the ball was when his knee hit, it was a half yard in front of that. Wow, they're saying it's short. Now the question is, do you challenge? If I'm the Redskins, after what happened on their first drive, they moved it right down the field. I say you challenge. Maybe they're not allowed to. Maybe that's just the spot's the spot. I find it hard to believe that a virtual measurement. It's like, I feel like I'm getting cheated if I get a virtual measurement. It's like when you go to the casino and you play blackjack, at least you see the cards come out of the shoe and you know what happens. Teoscar Hernandez hits one into the bullpen. The Dodgers lead 1-0. Solo home run for him, his 5th of the postseason. 1-out bomb. Dodgers bottom 2 have struck first. But yeah, if you're playing online, if you're playing blackjack online, whatever happens. You can't see it. That's kind of how I feel about a virtual measurement. It's like you don't know if they're cheating or not. You can't prove it. I mean, at least if you see the cards come out of the deck and they give themselves 21, you can see they're not cheating. They just got 21. If you see the chains come onto the field and they give them short or whatever, that's fine. But if there's no chains and it just says, oh, virtual measurement, you're short, that seems pretty stupid. Certainly when you're on the short end of it, it seems pretty stupid. If you're on the right end of it, it seems pretty smart. It doesn't take much for the Dodgers to be laying a price here. Once they get a lead, I mean, the total being so low to begin with, they're already up to 340 on the live price. I think that's excessive and extreme, but I also thought that the game price was too high to begin with. One of my Redskins friends. Haven't seen the stupid virtual measurement system all year until we play the Chiefs. Good job. So the spot on the field is still done manually. The virtual measurement leaves them 5 inches short. All right, so I guess that's that. Once they virtually decide that you're short, then you're virtually screwed. Thing about the way that Scherzer pitches, he attacks guys, he goes at them, and he also throws pitches. Like I said, they're in the zone. That's just too much of the zone. The Dodgers punish that kind of stuff when you make a mistake. Wright's career long was 59. And that would have been a 57-yarder. So in theory, they could have tried a field goal there. Live price Chiefs are 9.5, and the total's 38.5. 45 seconds to go in the first. Yeah, there's just not even a discussion about that. If you're short, you're short. That's it. Just don't even bother to challenge. I think that's stupid. Play fake, throwback screen. Redskins did a good job of sniffing that out. It's going to be a loss of about 4. The Chiefs' second highest team running screen passes in all of football this year. Screens compared to everything else, I should say. This will be the last play of the quarter if it's a complete pass. It's over the middle. This is Rice out to the 41. It'll be third and about 4 when the second quarter starts. KC at their own 40. Live price coming shortly. They'll be back to start that in about 3.5 minutes. Hernandez for the Dodgers. Kike at the plate. 2-2, 2 down, nobody on. Teo Hernandez has given the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. High heat, and he knocks it foul back. Oh, fastball low. I thought it caught it at the knees. Nope. Live price Chiefs 7.5 seems to be par for the course here. Total 37.5. I have no opinion there. I think the total's a little bit high, but this game could explode at any point. Remember, the Saints and Bucks didn't do anything for a quarter and a half yesterday, and the game still got into the 40s. Did you guys burn some popcorn? It smells like burnt popcorn. Maybe my oven's burned something. I think I had a pizza that was in there that needed to be eaten. I think that's what they decided to go for. I don't blame them. They just got off a flight. They're hungry. I'm not. I'll eat whatever. There's bacon in the fridge if you wanted to put bacon on there instead of just the pepperoni. All right, so commercials in both games. Anything update score-wise? Not really. Ottawa 2-1 over Boston in one of the hockey games, and the other game was a delay penalty. The Penguins just scored to go up 3-2. End of one in KC again, no score. 7.5, 37.5 the total. Nothing to it. I still like the Redskins. They've been the better team to this point. That first drive ending the way that it did with Samuel having the ball hit him in the face for an interception was just a little bit unlucky. definitely should have came out with points on both their drives. Defense seems to have a pretty good grasp of what the Chiefs are trying to do so far. Doesn't have to continue, but so far so good. Of course, they're playing with some desperation, as bad as they were last week against the Cowboys. You can't be surprised by that. Let's see, live price in the baseball game at the end of 2 with the Dodgers up 1-0. Dodgers $3, as high as 320, 330 is out there as well. The offshore prices are a little bit cheaper. 6.5 over a bunch at Circus, 7.5 under a bunch at the Westgate, 7.5 under a bunch at Buckeye, 6.5 over at Pinnacle, 7 under a quarter. The 1.7 on the board is at Chris. So barrage of 6.5s and 7.5s. Both I lean over, don't love it. Again, I said that before the last inning. I think that even at a 7 price at plus money, which you could probably find if you look hard enough, the 7 number over would be the way to go. Chiefs did get a first down to start the second quarter. They're at the 46. Trips left, Mahomes out of the gun, play fake. And he's going to roll, and he's going to run. He's going to get about a 7-yard gain shoved out of bounds. More dramatic acting and falling. Stuff that's making it real hard to root for Mahomes these days. Second and 3 there, clock moving inside of 14 minutes. The Mannings are talking to Jared Goof on ESPN2. I wouldn't mind listening to that, with the exception of the delay being about 1 minute and 7 seconds from the main feed on the antenna. It means I'm stuck with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, in addition to the baseball game with Joe Davis and Johnny Smoltz. Interviewing the Toronto manager now, I wouldn't mind hearing that. Is that Don Drysdale? Jesus, he looks good. So is Koufax. Okay. I know the Dodgers have all these old guys that are still alive. I guess you live in the Florida sun in Vero Beach or in LA for a good part of your life. A lot of vitamin C out there. That was a great interview with the Toronto manager. I also appreciated the fact that he was candid about what happened with the call that got his runner picked off at first in the last inning. Just said, please, for whatever you do, yell louder and make sure you're more clear with what you say. It's confused. They were confused. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they ended up saying that they were. A little nubbler by Jimenez. He's done. 1 down in the Toronto third. So back to the top of the order for Toronto. They're going to show the replay of this again. So Varsho didn't know. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I mean, he said strike. He said it loud enough. The worst part about that is they had like after he gets picked off, they go walk single. So there would have been bases loaded in that spot with another out to work with. Grounder to short, Betts fires over to get Springer by a step, 2 down. Do have a commercial in the Redskins. What happens here? Mahomes threw a pick. Yeah, off Kelsey's hands. So 2 interceptions for Mahomes on the first 2 trips for the Chiefs. Live price 5.5 now and 35.5. With the Skins in their own territory, I don't know. I still think it's too high, but at some point these games usually turn into score fests. But you've got a pick, another pick, a stoppage on downs, and another pick. So, okay, so Bichette basically was confused by the fact that the pitch was high, I guess, and it was a 3-1 pitch that was called strike two. That's has to be the confusion, but that's Bichette's fault for not hanging in there at first until being confirmed. I mean, just because the batter starts walking to first doesn't mean you get to start walking to second. You have to make sure for sure that he's going to first. You know, if you can't hear the ump say ball, you can go back to first and look at the other ump. You know, you can't get punished if you go back. You can only get punished if you go forward. I'll Betts won the Roberto Clemente Award. It's about as high of an honor, kind of like the Walter Payton Man of the Year in the NFL. About as high of an honor as you can get. It doesn't have anything to do with playing the actual game. Redskins start at the 13-minute mark at their own 41. They got a man wide open over the middle. This is the secondary tight end, Bates. It'll be fascinating to see if Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator for the Redskins, gets another shot in the offseason if he wants to be a head coach again. It didn't end well for him in Arizona the last time. He had a good enough year last year in Washington. He probably could have left if he'd wanted to, and he chose to stick around and work with Dan Quinn another year. Luke swings it a strike a little bit low, and that'll do it. Glasnow works a 1-2-3 third. Through 2.5 in LA, the Dodgers won, Toronto nothing. Live price Dodgers, let's call it 370, 360. The total somewhere in the 6.5 flattish range. That'll have to get bet down by default, right? Here's Deebo Samuel, the alien. 2nd and 2, and he's going to lose a yard, maybe 2. Be 3rd and 3, maybe. $350 at Circa. Buckeye total is running way high. Everybody else 6.5 flat seems pretty par for the course. I got no qualms with that. Actually, that's about what it should be. They're running it high most of these innings. Now they throw it to Ertz, and he gets only 1 on 4th and 3rd and 3. So now they're in a pickle. It's 4th and a long 1 or a short 2. And they're in field goal range if they want to try one this time. It's good coverage by the Chiefs. Hicks 21 jumped it. They're going to go for it again. Redskins were very aggressive, and they were also very good last year. It was abnormally good, like 27 out of like 28 or something on 4th down was a joke. The analytics people say they should go for it. Shotgun. Back offset to the right. They're going to throw it. Here comes a blitz from the Chiefs, throwing for it all. Unless there's a hold on the defense, it's going to be incomplete, nowhere near anybody. No flags. Give it back to Kansas City on downs for the 2nd time in a row. 10:25 to go in the first half. The Chiefs will take over at their own 32. And they must feel good about life following 2 interceptions. The Redskins have yet to cash in on either one of them. No score in Kansas City. Live price, Chiefs 7, 33.5. Commercial in the baseball, still bottom 3 coming. Dodgers again, $3.50 to $4, give or take. Total somewhere in the 6.5 range. Oh, this is a funny stat. Scherzer, Kershaw started against each other back in 2008. Yeah, I wanted to hear that. Vin Scully was the one that introduced him. It's like, yeah, we got a guy that we never really heard much about, this Max Scherzer guy. I think that there was a pitching change that day for one or both teams. I can't remember. I was working and I remember seeing, like, who's this guy going for Arizona. Scherzer was either a top draft choice. I'd heard the name. I just didn't know anything about it. I'd never seen him pitch before. Makes you feel old when they start showing stuff like that. That was before there was even high def. Literally, they showed the graphics on Big Fox right now, and that was a Fox Sports Prime or whatever, Fox Sports West or Prime West or whatever the hell the Dodgers Network was back then with Vinny. And yeah, it was in low def, and you saw the graphic just a second ago. Two of the great ones, both future Hall of Famers. Going to call it a career after the season. This might be the last time Scherzer pitches for Toronto, depending on how far this series goes. Kershaw yet to make an appearance for the Dodgers yet. He did go against Philadelphia in the Final Four of the National League, the divisional round, and was beaten up. They actually sent him out there for some punishment. The Dodgers were getting beat, and he gave up a run or two, and they're down like 3 or 4 runs going into the top of the 9th, and they left him in there, and he just got pummeled. He gave up 4 or 5 runs, and next thing you knew, Philadelphia won the game 9-1. It was actually the Dodgers' only loss in this postseason until Game 1 in the World Series. They swept the Reds in the wild card round, and then they swept the Brewers in 4 games in the National League Championship Series. Pye has 4 for 43 in the postseason. They got him hitting the 9-hole. A lot of times in the regular season, he was batting 5th and 6th, and most of his home runs at the start of the season were at Dodger Stadium. He hit a lot better on the road later, but he's clearly more comfortable. He has a much higher average in OPS at Dodger Stadium, so let's see if he can get things turned around tonight. Takes a 94-mile-an-hour fastball and pops it up to the second baseman. That'll be the first out of the inning. Chiefs gave 4 on first down after the 32, 2nd and 6 there. Switch back up to the footsies. Mahomes runs a draw. That's Pacheco for about 4. The 3rd and short. Clock moving inside of 9.5 minutes to go in the second. Live price now is down into the 33, 32.5 range of the total. As we continue to say scoreless, total continues to tick down. Ohtani steps in. The Dodgers have turned their order around. Scherzer's faced 2 over the minimum here. Ohtani doubled in the first, and Teoscar Hernandez hit a home run in the second. Those are the only guys to reach base. Mahomes zings it to Kelsey. Good enough for a first down. Chiefs will move the sticks. Out approaching midfield. Mahomes has all day. Fires it right. That's Kelsey again. He's wide open. Down to the Redskins 22. They'll move the sticks. 8.5 to go. Clock moving. Gain of about 29. Way too much time. First time tonight that he's had that much. This time they actually, the left tackle had a little bit of help. There's a draw play. Pacheco for about 6. Actually, look, when he first got it, it could be more than that. Ohtani takes one to right. Let's see if it stays fair. It does. It's gone. 1-2 pitch. Trying to sneak a fastball through up at his eyes by him. No can do, Max. Two 2-0 Dodgers. 2 solo home runs, the damage against Max so far. Bottom 31 out for bets. Live price now, Dodgers are up to almost $5. Keep you posted at the end of the half inning. Here's another draw play up the middle, first down on 3rd and 1. Big goal to go for the Chiefs. Now it becomes a situation where Mahomes has thrown 2 interceptions in a row. Just anything here that holds him to a field goal would be a huge win. I actually would have said that as soon as Kelsey caught the ball that put him inside the 25. Just do whatever you can to keep him out of the end zone. Betts flew out to the left, so there's 2 down for Freeman. Rashee Rice takes it in from 7 yards out. I think they're going to... Oh, I don't know. I think he's short by maybe 6 to 8 inches. Fix that. You got to make sure those things are not stuck inside each other. That first one needs to go outside the second one before you can turn it to the middle. Yeah, now you should be able to turn it to the middle and push. Now with it being, the sun has set, so we can open the blinds up, maybe get a little air if they want. Now that the sun's not here, hopefully it'll cool down in here a little bit. It's brutally warm, high 80s. I'm used to it. They're probably not. Freeman draws a walk. 2 outs. He's on. Rice's touchdown run caps the KC drive. I didn't see the stats for it. My mistake. Oh, wait a minute. So he's not in. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. I was already giving it to him. The spot looked like he was about a half yard short. There's a pizza cutter over there somewhere if you want to use that. If not, there should be plenty of knives. All right, so 2nd and goal, it looks like about where I thought, maybe 8 inches short. 2nd and goal, clock moving. Mahomes out of the gun. Motion left. Give is to 29. Hunt, he bangs it right in. Tough beat on the first touchdown prop if you had the other guy. Good win if not. Hunt bangs it in from 1 yard out. 5:46 to go in the second quarter. 6-0 Kansas City. Nine plays, 72 yards, 4:38 off the clock for Kansas City. Take advantage of the second straight stoppage on downs and have scored the first points of the game after 24 minutes and 14 seconds. Extra point is good. KC 7, Washington nothing. Live price, Chiefs, I call it 10.5, 35, 35.5. Let's see what the market comes with here in just a couple minutes. Baseball game the other night, I think, took 2 hours and like 5 minutes. Tonight it seems like we got a little bit more Max is working a little bit more labor. Anytime this is the first base runner here, Freeman steals second. It's the 2-2 pitch to Smith. Freeman takes off. But Max, anytime there's traffic, he'll work a little bit slower. He'll take the pitch clock to as far as he can. Freeman's slide it was close. I think he beat it. The replay made it look a lot closer than what I thought it was. These middle infielders do such a good job of tagging them now and on the shoulders and in other spots to not have to worry about getting them on the foot by the bag anymore. They'll go up high. That's something that's been a new development in the last. He might be out. The more I see that replay, the more I think he might be out. Toronto is going to challenge. From that view that I just see right there on the middle left, he's out. I don't know. That one I can't tell. His left foot is getting to the. Here's a good angle. Maybe. He's out. I think by an eyelash, he's out. It's so close that if they don't overturn it, I won't be surprised. But from two different angles that I've seen, it looks like he's out. The rest of them look like he's safe. Or it's a tie. I guess we'll find out in a second. Kansas City and Washington, the live price at the 5:46 mark. Kickoff coming. The Chiefs get the ball to start the second half. Again, they're up 7-0. Man, that's so close. I just saw a replay on the Canadian channel, and it looks like he's safe on that one. So I don't know what they're going to do. And I think it's the people that are in the replay review are the ones that are making the call. The umps have nothing to do with it. They're just relaying what the people in the review booth are doing. 10.5, 35.5, the live price on the Chiefs. Redskins decent return. Call stands. I'm not surprised by that. It looked like he might have been out from a couple of different angles, but it was so close. Now in the playoffs, you do get 2 challenges, so the Blue Jays will have another crack later if they need one. Full count to Smith after the challenge. Freeman on second now. Ertz catches a first down pass, and now they go backwards. Smith bloofs one to right. Let's see if Freeman's going to try to score. This Barger has a cannon for an arm. He's out by 9 miles. Right on line. Threw him out the plate. That's why he's still second. You give yourself a chance to score on a play like that. Ball was hit a little too hard, and the right fielder has an absolute piss shooter for an arm. Yeah, great play all the way around there. So the Dodgers are cut down at the plate in an attempt to try to go up 3-0. At the end of 3, Dodgers 2, Toronto 0. Oh, this is a good execution by the Redskins. What did they do here? There was nobody for Kansas City within a mile of that guy when he caught the ball. I'll have to watch. This is why I'm glad Dad's got this Manning feed on. I can sit here and watch the replay and see what they did. It's about a minute behind. It's perfect. Who's the guy that's crossing Merritt again? Getting about a yard. So Tunsil back for the Redskins now after being injured in the first quarter. Play fake. Mariota. He's going to take off. Going to run out of bounds. Get maybe 3. The Chiefs just had bad coverage on that catch by Bates. He just ran an out route and there's nobody there. I'm sure Peyton's having a blast with that. Mariota gets run into the Redskins bench. Good job by them keeping him up and not letting him bang into anything. 3rd and 5. They've been in this spot before. They'll probably gain 4 here and have 4th and 1 again. Mariota back out of the gun. Back offset to the right. Plenty of time. More time. Lobs it to the back. Complete. Plenty of room to run. That was almost like a clear-out play. Every receiver was gone, and there was nobody anywhere near. Once the back was done blocking, they just lobbed it to him. This is McNichols. He did stand and protect, and then he didn't. So the Redskins now are in field goal range. Actually, they're in the almost the red zone to the 21 now, but I'm sure they want more than that. After all these getting the ball in the Kansas City territory every time and come up with nothing, it's got to be sickening. They haven't punted yet. Matter of fact, there hasn't been a punt either way yet. It's still only 7-0. We're getting close to the 2-minute warning. Skins have all 3 of their timeouts. Chiefs 2. I reckon this will probably get run down to the 2-minute warning. I don't think either team's in a rush to call one right now. But yeah, it has to be frustrating. If you're Washington, you know, again, it's been you get a sloppy interception because Debo's not paying attention to what's going on, and then you get stopped on 4th and 1 and 4th and 2, back-to-back possessions. After you were so good at that last year, it's been seemed like a season nothing go right, and that's kind of a microcosm of it here in the first half for the Redskins trying to tie it up here at the break. KC does get it first at halftime, so it's imperative to try to get this thing in and then not let KC get it back and get points before the gun. Live price, call it Chiefs 8.37 the total. How's that pie? Any good or no? So-so. It's about what you get for the grocery store pizza, I guess. There's ice cream in the freezer and some 1% milk if you're ready to follow it up later. Vladdy steps in to lead off in the 4th. 2-0 Dodgers. Glasnow swings at one on his fist, really close to ball 4. Full count. One thing that Toronto takes a lot of pride in, that's making starters go deep. It worked out really well for them in Game 1 against Snell. They had fouled off like 27 pitches, some obscene number that I've never heard of before. Unfortunately, not so lucky at this point tonight. Vladdy is able to hold up on ball 4. He'll draw a walk. Glasnow only threw 37 pitches in the first 3 innings, and that's right up the alley. These Dodgers to stay out of their pen as long as they can and let these 4 guys do their work. This is by far the most healthy they've been on a pitching staff with the studs up front going into a playoff season, which is why I thought that they would be really hard to beat 4 times. Key was getting past the Reds and only having 2 losses to play with. And then against Philadelphia, only having 3, and that could be a blessing, as I thought Philly was dangerous. The Dodgers only having to beat them 3 times is somewhat fortuitous, but given the fact they handled them pretty easily, maybe not. Bichette did get a hit the first time, and he's grounded at the second. Oh, Edmund lets it go under the old Mitskas. Vladdy will go to 3rd, and that's going to be an E4. I don't think the ball was hit hard enough to turn 2, but they would have for sure gotten probably the lead runner. Live price on the Chiefs 8.5, 8 and 7.5, and 38.5, 37.5. Here's who is it? Is that Merritt again? Nope, McNichols again. He's getting a lot of dosage. It's real close to the sticks. It's going to be 3rd and about a yard, and because it's so short, half yard, neither team's calling timeouts yet. Redskins have all 3 of theirs. Chiefs have 2, but you can't start burning timeouts with this much time left. So 1st and 3rd for Toronto and nobody out. Varsho up. Chance for him to do a little damage. He walked the first time. Official review. I think they're going to look at the spot here. I'll I'll keep you posted on that. I have no clue what's going on. Varsho pops this one up. Left fielder makes a play. Vladdy's not going to try to do anything there. Throw was so hard, I don't know if it got cut off or not. I guess it did. Runner did not advance from first, so it's first and third, 1 out now. I mean, he's got to be kidding. You can't. I mean, no one's score on that. He wouldn't score on me from there. A little over dramatic there, Kike, but whatever. A for effort, I guess. So what happens here with the Redskins? They did not give it to him, or they did? They did give it to him. So first and 10 now, and the clock has stopped. Or do they not start it back up? Did somebody call timeout? I'm guessing the Chiefs are going to want to start calling timeouts. Fly ball to deep center for Kirkin, and he's hit another one out of here. Guy's an absolute animal. Toronto has taken the lead on a 3-run shot by Alejandro Kirk to left center, his 5th home run of the postseason. And there's your MVP candidate for the Blue Jays if they somehow pull this thing out. That guy's a freak. Such a good hitter. Big home run there. That of all these balls that have been blasted out of the yard in these places, that one, especially the ones the Dodgers hit, and that one barely cleared. But guess what? They all count the same. All 3 runs will be scored the same tomorrow, and forevermore. 3-2 Toronto, top 4, 1 out. Oh man, yeah, 81-mile-an-hour hanger banger. I really thought that wasn't going to make it, but it did. Now, who called the timeout in the football game? I'm all flustered. There's too much happening here. Even my ADD can't handle this. Glasnow throws a strike to Barger. But yeah, Toronto, I mean, really out of nowhere, takes a 3-2 lead. Edmonds' error obviously proves very costly. I don't think they were ever going to turn 2 there, but to give up an unearned run in that spot hurts. All right, let's see what's happening in the football. So the Chiefs did call the timeout at the 154 mark. That answers my first question. Probably the right thing to do. Goal to go, it definitely would have been. Mariota runs a draw. Gain of nothing. And they'll call their next timeout now, almost for sure, too. Now, maybe not. They're going to hang on to this one. I guess there's enough timeouts left that they think that they're okay without having to burn the second one. Plenty of NBA halftimes. Thankfully nobody in the chat's asking about that. I'll be glad to share it with you if you care, but I don't see anybody caring, so that's good. The way I see it is the NBA will be playing in June. If you guys want to talk about it then, I'll be around for it. Play fake to Samuel, nothing there. And he's rolling around, he's looking, skates pressure. Now Samuel goes. Is it caught? They say he's out of bounds. It can't be out of bounds. He might have been out of bounds after he caught it. Looks like he had both feet. No, it's not even arguing. Gosh, I guess he bobbled it a little bit so his left foot's not in. I mean, that's such a good catch. It's the right idea. He was the safety valve on that play until he started running. Where's the expedited review? Oh, he didn't catch it. Okay, all right. Those receivers make such freakishly good plays these days. 3rd and 10 at the 12. Mariota all day. Now he throws a lob. No way that can be caught in bounds. Yeah. No, I mean, McLaurin's open. That ball's got to have a little bit of air under. I mean, not that much. I mean, that ball drew rain. Is his right foot ever down when the ball's caught or not? Hang on. Let's see the right foot. They're going to overturn this. That's a touchdown. If that camera angle is good for anything, his right foot, I think, was down when he first possessed the ball. Now let's see if we get expedited replay on this one. Barger has a base hit, and the Dodgers are going to have some activity in their bullpen almost for sure now. I don't know. Maybe not. Their bullpen's so bad, they might just let Glasnow stick with this. I don't know who the guy is that's in charge for ABC, Mouse, Disney to talk about the replay, but surely they'll have him on here in a minute. Oh, there's a timeout. That's bad news for the Chiefs. They're actually going to take some time to look at this. I have a feeling that they're going to come back and score this a touchdown. Obviously, in a situation like this where there's no definitive call on the field, you could see Peyton and Eli. Eli got to be asking, that's got to be a catch. They both root for the offense anyways. But yeah, you won't have a live line because there's just too many outcomes. Clement dumps one into right, and the Blue Jays are back in the same situation they were before. 5 of 6 have reached here to start the fourth, and things have really gotten away from Glasnow since the Edman error. First and third with one down. Jays up 3-2. Bottom of the order doing some damage now. Just a little inside out bloop job over Freeman's head. Looks like the runner was on the move the pitch before that as well. So Toronto trying to get guys in motion and make things happen out there. Here's Jimenez. He nubbed out in the first. Glasnow could use something like that again here. That ball was hit hard enough it would have been 2, probably the first time. Looks like the scoreboard is telling me touchdown, and it looks like I'm seeing on Twitter as well. So, Redskins have scored to cut it to 7-6. McLaurin's touchdown for Mariota was from 12 yards. First points the Chiefs have given up by their defense in the last 103 minutes of game time. Absolutely astonishing stat. 103 minutes of no points given up by the Chiefs at all. Now, of course, you have to consider they had the Raiders last week who absolutely laid down and did nothing for an entire 60. Terry McLaurin. Banda's now up for the Dodgers in the pen. So we have a sac fly to center here, I guess, for Toronto. Clement tags and goes to second. The run was in before that as well. Piaz's throw was late. Toronto extends the lead to 4-2. 2 down, and now anything that scores from here will be unearned based on the fact that Edman's error would have already been the third out. So Banda up in the pen for the Dodgers. This is the third time around the order for Toronto. They're going to let Glasnow go, I guess, with the man on second. And Springer pops up the first pitch. Stay in the yard. Daggone it. 7-all. 58 seconds left for the Chiefs. They do have one timeout to work with. Live price 6. There is some 6.5 out there. Total is 40. I would say 40 flat's your best bet. There is some 41 under money offshore, which seems it's a smidge high. I cannot believe how high that Mariota threw that ball. I mean, the Chiefs' entire team must have been all the way on the other side of the field. Yeah, they did. They were all on the other side. But Jesus, I mean, you don't have to throw it that high. I don't blame the ref for thinking he was out. I mean, it's like, how can a guy possibly stay in bounds? The ball was in the air too long. Ooh, Springer, I thought, swung at that. No call. 58 seconds left. Skins will kick it. Down at the 15, caught at the 10. Run out. 20, 25, 28. Whacked out of bounds. 53 seconds. There is a flag. It'll come back. First penalty of the game. Oh, Brad Allen. So Mahomes has one timeout to work with here. He's 7-11 for 79 yards and 2 picks here in the first half. The game is tied at 7. He'll have it at his own 15. Springer strikes out, but the damage is done. Alejandro Kirk hits a 3-run home run in addition to 1 Dodger error and a walk. The Blue Jays get 4 runs total. They leave 2 on base, 4 hits. After 3.5, it's Toronto 4-2. Mahomes fires it out to the 40. It's complete. 26 seconds left. Chiefs take their last time out at the 24-second mark. Yeah, the Chiefs kept that timeout on the other side of the 2-minute warning, which again, they could have had maybe 25 seconds left, but they would have been out of timeout. So it's a matter of how much time you want to save with your team having the ball. I personally, if I was Kansas City with that offense and that quarterback, I would have called all my timeouts on defense. I mean, that's me, especially off any complete passes or whatever. They would have saved themselves 30, 35 seconds for this drive. Instead of starting at 53 seconds, they'd have had a minute and 28 or so. 24 seconds left. Holmes back. He tries to take a shot. No one's close to that one. Anytime you see something like that, you're waiting for the flag to fly, like somebody got held. Not this time. Baseball game, the live price, Toronto now the favorite, obviously up by 2 runs, $1.60. God, that seems cheap. Given the Dodgers, when they're up by 2 runs, they're laying $3.50. 176 at Chris is closer to being right. 190 at Buckeye, I agree with. Come back, it's 150 at Buckeye. In town, I see as low as plus 130 on the Dodgers. That again, they're either drowned to the Dodgers or they favor them. An absurd price. Total 10.5 over 50, 10.5 over 35, 11 under 32, 11 under 17. So again, like I said, I thought that those prices on the 7 were more than fair to bet over at, and obviously with it being 4-2, I don't think I'd be interested in going over 11, or over 10.5 even. But I wouldn't be surprised if it gets there. Mahomes tries to hit Worthy a little in. The defensive back makes a hell of a play on that one. Hit it from behind. Mahomes wants interference. There's no interference there. Throw led him by too much, and the defensive back makes a nice play. 3rd and 10, 12 seconds left. Chiefs have converted each of their last 3 third downs. Skins will rush only 3. Here comes the spy, and Mahomes dumps it. He is out of the pocket, so he's going to get away without having a grounding. With 6 seconds left, they may have to punt this. I don't think there's enough time to run it out. I just saw a replay on the Barstow Ball 4 that looks like it was at least a full 2 inches, 3 inches high. It wasn't close. I can understand why Bichette was going to second. Still shouldn't have without confirming it, but still tough break. But the Blue Jays are up 4-2. They're out of excuses now. Muncy pulls one to the first baseman. Vladdy's going to beat him to the bag. Big shutdown inning here for Scherzer if he can pull it off. All right, so Chiefs get out of there unscathed. Nothing happens. Half's over, 7-all. Low-scoring game given the fact that there weren't any punts. Listening to Andy Reid talk is a colossal waste of time. I don't even know why they bother with him every time it's a halftime. Halftime price is coming in the football game. Bear with me. Teoscar Hernandez with a homer in his first plate appearance. He steps in against Mad Max here in the fourth with one down. Tough to say what you would deem to be a quality or a good or a successful start for Scherzer tonight. I don't say quality in the means of that bullshit stat of 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less. That means nothing in today's baseball. More qualities than like what the team thinks, whether it's quality, how good does the guy pitch, does he do what is his job in this kind of game. I think the job description changes as the game situation changes, meaning that now that he's pitching from ahead, maybe he has a little bit more leash to work with. Maybe he doesn't feel quite as much pressure to throw strikes. Maybe he can get some more guys out. Certainly, the leash would have been shorter if it's a 2-0 game. If he gives anybody gets on base, it becomes a much tougher ask for him to go deeper into this game. And Toronto, as much as the Dodgers don't have much of a bullpen, Toronto's is not one to write home about either. You really don't want to go to the pen if you don't have to. If you're Mr. Schneider. Teoscar opposite field would be caught by the right fielder. Great shutdown inning working here by Scherzer. If he can get out of this thing giving up nothing after the 4 spot in the first. Sorry, in the top of the 4th. Football price. Chiefs get the ball first out of the half. In a 7-7 game, they were laying 10.5 at post. Total at 48. Live price 6.24. Circa 5.5. I agree with that 5.5 price more. This game looks to me like it could go either way. Again, the Redskins have had the ball 4 times. They got interception in the red zone, 2 stoppages on downs in field goal range, and a touchdown. So nothing that I've seen tells me that the Redskins offense, even with Mariota, has been threatened to be stopped in this game. Just a couple of non-conversions on short yardage situations. I think Washington has a good chance to win this game. And again, you have to understand going into it, Kansas City looked great last week. It's looked good for a couple of weeks, getting their weapons back. And they also have Buffalo on deck next week on the road. All those things, a good confluence into why, obviously, Washington's probably worth a look tonight. Skins are at home Sunday night against Seattle. Seattle's won 9 straight on the road going back to last year, so not an easy assignment for Washington out of this one either. But given their season state and the division they play in, it would behoove them to go ahead and start winning games. This is one they probably are going to need much more than Kansas City by the end of the season. So Max mows them down. And like I said, a big shutdown inning for Toronto there after the 4 spot in the top of the 4th. We go to the 5th, and they lead 4-2. Jays 220 up to 240. Total pretty much 10.5 flat. I'm on board with 10.5 flat. 5, 6, and 7, nothing doing for the Dodgers in the 4th. The only thing that guarantees is that Max will be back out for the 5th. It's tough to say for sure how long they're going to let him go once the Dodgers' 3rd time of the order comes around. But given that he's such a veteran and he's pitching from ahead, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a little bit longer leash. Especially, like I said, the only damage that's really been done are the 2 home runs that were both solo shots. Basically, the live total in the football game at halftime. Chris is the low number at 23.5 over. There's 24 flat, 24 over, and there's 24.5 under at Paradise and at Bet War. 24.5 under 15. I guess Toonsway likes over in the second half. Nothing to it on this end. Again, the math doesn't dictate anything. They got to 14. There weren't any punts either way. I would say that 24 is a fair number. Anything less than 24 is too low. Anything more than 24 is probably too high. 24.5, not the worst number. It's hard. I would be hard pressed to go under 24.5. Given that the game's tied, overtime is certainly a possibility. Thanks for checking me out tonight. 9:30 Eastern. We're about 9. minutes, a little bit after that, to the SWEATBOX, the Equinox SWEATBOX. Only time all year in the 2025 calendar season that we'll have 4 main sporting events going on one day. MLS, if you want to count the 5th, also in their first round of the playoffs tonight. I have no idea how long that goes, but I think if I'm not mistaken, there's 16 teams in it, and they play each other in like home and homes. So what do you got? 16, 8, 4. So at least 6 matches before you get to the final. So you play, what, 7 playoff matches? Just for you to know, the 2 matches in the playoffs tonight. Cincinnati beat Columbus 1-0 in Cincinnati, and Seattle and Minnesota are underway. No score, 35th minute. So there, I've covered my soccer obligations for the night. Hockey, there are 2 games as well. Again, Pittsburgh was a winner. They've often a surprising start this season. They beat St. Louis, and Ottawa beats Boston 4-1. NBA, 11 games total tonight. 8 of them are underway. 7 of them are either at halftime or beyond. Phoenix, Utah just underway. In Salt Lake City, Utah up 16th. Denver, Minnesota, Memphis, Golden State, Portland, the Lakers are all a little bit later on tonight. Baseball, again, the live price. Toronto was laying 230 at the end of 4 against the Dodgers, 10.5 flat. 4-2 Toronto, top 5. Glasnow still in there to start the 5th. He has thrown 66 pitches as Luke's leads off against him. And in the NFL game, Monday Night Football capping off Week 8. Kansas City and the Redskins tied up at 7 at Arrowhead Stadium. Kansas City 5.5 in the second half. I see a 5 minus 19 out there. Amapola, who's trying to be 1 cent better than the best available. God bless him for that. Straight out of the Ribs playbook of always finding a way to be the best available by a penny. 5.5 minus 08 would be the next move. Or you go to the high side, 6 minus 11. Buckeyes got a 6 out there. May have a 30-cent line. Some of those Buckeye numbers are super inflated. Totals pretty much stuck about where you'd think it was. Let's see, what else is going on here? Nothing worth really noting. I guess let's go back to the old basis. Luke's is still up there. He's working on Glasnow's pitch count. Full count, nobody on. Here in the 5th, Toronto again leads at 4-2. The Dodgers get a run in the second off of Teoscar Hernandez home run, and then another run in the 3rd off of an Ohtani home run. Toronto with 4 in the 4th, and they lead the Dodgers 4-2. Game 3 of the World Series, this was knotted up at 1. Blue Jays are winners at home in Game 1. Dodgers won Game 2 behind a Yamamoto shutout. I'm sorry, complete game. And Banda up in the pen, leadoff walk by Glasnow. I don't reckon he'll have a much longer leash. Looks like most totals are now 24 over money, and Pinnacle's now 24.5 under 22. Halftime price, I think that's plus 04 on the comeback. And they also are using 6 plus 09 on the Chiefs, so you could get. Now they're not selling. I don't think they're selling points on that game. They're letting you buy on Washington, so you're probably having to take plus 6 minus 27 on the Redskins. Let's see what else is going on. Vladdy flies out to right field. Hernandez makes the play. Runner does not move. Glasnow now at 78 pitches. Curious to see if Toronto's going to try to get him over. Guy at first, Lucas, is fairly fast. Bo Bichette steps in. So it's clear that the Dodgers aren't worried about letting Glasnow face him for the third time. I guess the thought process, it's tough to know though. I mean, this goes the distance. They're not going to want to. I guess it'll be a short leash regardless. Because he won't pitch again until Game 7. If they go Game 7, he'll be on an extremely short leash. There won't be any pitching against a guy 3 times in Game 7. Second half's going to kick off in about 90 seconds at Arrowhead. No real movements here lately. It's been dog or nothing here. Paradise is at 5. There is some 5.5. Bet online, 5.5 at Chris. The opening 6 I thought was really a little bit absurd. The only reason why I could even be close to that high is the fact that Kansas City gets the ball first. But anything off of what you've seen so far, I mean, nothing tells me that the Chiefs are going to win this game by a touchdown or more. I would say that 4.5 would probably be where I would have started. If they bet you -4.5, then you could always go up from there, move the juice, and leave the 4.5 alone. There goes the runner. 2-2. Let's see. Anything happened with the total? Nope. All the 24.5s are gone except for Pinnacle. Everybody else is 24 over or 24 flat. So. Here's a little chopper to the third baseline. Wisely lets it go foul. Here's the kickoff. Western Missouri. Decent return for the Chiefs out to the 33. We do have a Castigo. Got some cheating going on. Last time there was a Washington kick, the Chiefs cheated as well. Brad Allen was, him and his crew had not much work to do in the first half. There were no flags at all in the first 29 minutes of this game. As Ed would say, that's disappointing. Glasnow throws back to first for engagement. Got him. Inside corner. Not much protestations. Pretty good pitch. And that will end Glasnow's night at 85 pitches. 4 2/3. He gets through. And Varsho will face a lefty. It'll be Banda. 4-2. 2 outs. Toronto leads top 5. 4-5-0 for the Jays. 4-1 for the Dodgers. Must say that this is about as impressive as a half as you've seen this season out of the Washington secondary. It's been absolutely in shambles and mostly banged up. They do get some guys back, but much like one of the interceptions, the Washington interception, there was also a little bit of unluckiness with the deflection. Mahomes back. The ball's deflected and incomplete. And the receiver gets lit up. Oh, horse shit. They're going to call a flag on that. You got to be kidding me. Hitting the receiver. There's a new penalty. They can't call that. The ball was deflected. It can't be a flag. It's not interference. It's not. I don't know. Jesus. What is it? Roughness? Oh, that's brutal against the Redskins. Watching the replay, it's tough to say. I guess they have to call it. I'm trying to think if he could have stopped or not. I mean, I guess in theory he probably could have pulled up a step earlier. Baseball Live price. Toronto's $2 favorite. Chris is much higher, 242. Interesting, 184 the comeback. Everybody else's comeback is between 160 and 170. A little surprising that it's that low. A base hit here for Toronto will score a run. Total is 10 over or 10.5 under. Both are in play, which for top 5 seems a little bit low at this point. If they can get another run across, they'll have to be 11. So Mahomes takes advantage of the penalty. I wonder what Peyton and Eli are saying over there. To get 8 yards, and they're out to midfield now. First down, they'll move the sticks again on the ground. That's Pacheco to the 47. 13, it'll be under 13 the next time they snap the ball. And the Redskins had a chance to get off the field there pretty quick. Banda against Varsho, lefty here. Dodgers are about to get some more pin activity. I wonder how long they're going to let Banda go. I guess Toronto, this inning, it's only going to be one batter. Betts makes the play. Halfway home at Chavez Ravine. Azuleros cuatro, Dodgers dos. Crowd's going nuts up in Kansas City. They're showing Travis Kelce. I guess we know what that means. The only question is, oh no. What's going on here? Are you shitting me on this? He didn't even run a route. He was just there to block the whole time? Oh my God. How can there not be somebody for the Redskins involved with at least having an idea where the guy is? I mean, I guess that's why he's that open, right? Because all the other receivers were guarded. It's a 39-yard gain down to the 9. And the Chiefs are banging away here. Goal to go. First drive of the second half. Here comes Peyton and Eli, a chance to go nuts. This will be funny. Look, he's just standing there. Oh, there he is. I actually think that would be enjoyable, watching the game live and then watching Eli and Peyton a minute later, watching them react to what you see live earlier. What's this? Is this Rice? I think he's out of bounds at like the 4-yard line. He got the pylon, but he was out of bounds before all that. They're going to call him out at the 3. It'll be 3rd and goal, maybe the 2.5. I actually thought he was out before that. His foot's out of bounds right there. It's further than that, closer to the 1. Yeah, I don't know if the Chiefs, if it's worth challenging to try to move it from the 2.5 to the 1.5. I will say it's a significant difference to try to get in from this far. And Lord knows if you're Philly, you can't. If it was 2 plays from there, the Philly would just run that brotherly shove twice. Mahomes pumps, nothing there. There's a holding on 74. Fires. There's also a holding in the defensive secondary. They're going to redo the whole thing. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 3 again after offsetting penalties. 10:23 to go. holding each way. Live price in the baseball game, Toronto again, $1.85 to $2 total, roughly 10 flat. I think that seems just a smidge low. But again, if Toronto had 5, I would be definitely low. Because then you're betting on the Dodgers to get the 5 for it to get there. And I think the Dodgers will get 5 in this game. But again, it's a very dangerous situation to let Scherzer go out there pitching with the lead. He's got house money now. You can be sure that a couple of my friends didn't even think he would make it into the 5th. And I told you, you're probably wrong. If they let the guy actually go. Look at this. His career, he's 176-4 when he gets 4+ runs of support. There's a pass to Fan. It's over everybody's head. There's no penalty, no holding. Uncatchable ball. Who knows what they're going to do? I think he might go. Yeah, they're going to go for it. I don't know if I agree with this or not. In a 7-all game. The Redskins haven't punted. I guess I understand it. The one thing with them being from this far, I don't think they can run. I think they're going to have to throw it. I'd be shocked if they were going to draw from here. Gun, motion left. They'll have trips to that side. The back is offset to Mahomes' left. Drops back. He looks left. He's going to go right. Looking to throw it still. He does. There's a man wide open touchdown. It's Kareem Hunt. Put the backer in a vice. Had 2 choices. Either you commit to me, and I'll dump it off, which is what happened, or you don't, and I'll run it in. 3-yard catch from Hunt. From Mahomes to Hunt. 10-12 to go in the 3rd. Kike Hernandez leads off with a base hit for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 5th. Put him in the head vice. No win situation for the linebacker there for the Redskins. 2 choices. I don't know what happened to the guy who was covering the back, though. He just sort of gave up on the play. 8 plays, 80 yards. 4:48 off the clock. Chiefs start the second half with a touchdown. They lead it 14-7. Live prices 7.5 and 8. Total is 41.5. I'll keep you posted if that changes. That's my guess in the calculator. Obviously, with the game total at 48 in a 60-minute game, your average points per minute go into that. 24.5. Played 5 minutes into the 3rd. There's a fly ball to right by Pajes. Can of corn. Kike goes back to first, and the Dodgers are back to the top of the order for the 3rd time. Ohtani will step in. Not yet. Is there a pitching change? Looks like it. The clock reset. Okay. So Scherzer's day is done. He's not going to get a chance to face the Dodger lineup for the 3rd time. I didn't see who Toronto's going to try to bring it out of the bullpen. Let me see if my Twitter will tell me. That's Kareem Hunt's 2nd touchdown of the evening. Max seems satisfied with his effort. I'm sure that the Toronto coaching staff is as well. He goes 4 1/3. Gives up 5 hits, just the 2 solo home runs. The man on first is his responsibility as well. With Ohtani up, Toronto going to a lefty. $4.2 J's live price. Yeah, the last time the manager went out to take the ball from Scherzer, he told him to go stick it up his butt and go back to the dugout. Not this time. I would say most people from Toronto are satisfied with that effort. Get us through the Dodger lineup twice and only give up 2 runs. Toronto anywhere between 160 and 180 in the live pool now, 10.5 under money on the total. Kansas City 8.5, 7.5 minus a bunch, 41 on the total. Pretty much 41 flat's probably the best number, the closest number to the price. What did they do? Fumble the kickoff? Oh, what a catastrophic turn of events, and they're out of bounds at the 1. Oh man, these kickers in this league have been taught how to kick these balls and put all kinds of English and stuff on them. The Rams guy does it as good as anybody. This guy for the Chiefs put the Redskins in a real pickle here. They're going to have to start at their own 2. I was wondering why the price is already almost up to 10. They took it off the board. The live line's not even up anymore. They're so close to the end zone. It's a very volatile situation. 10-10 to go. Huge drive here, and they're already in the pickle. Pistol formation. They bang it up the middle. I think that's Merritt. Give him 2. Fluharty is in for the Blue Jays. This is his 9th appearance. He's pitched 5 innings in his first 8. Clearly a specialist that's just asked to get a couple guys out here and there. 6 earned runs. 6 hits and 1 earned run in his 5 innings. All day to throw it. Mariota zings it over the middle, complete to McLaurin. First down, Redskins out to the 22. Big play there. The drive's already be constituted as a win, even if they have to kick it. Let's get it out of their own shadows and make it to where you're not giving them at least a field goal. The person that's breathing the biggest sigh of relief right now for the Redskins is 83, the guy that returned the kickoff, or that didn't return the kickoff. Ohtani, the count runs full. Fluharty throws a strike on the 3-1 pitch. Fox is showing the graphic from his effort in Game 4 of the NLCS. I would argue that it might be the best single game in the history of all of sports. The fact that he struck out 10, gave up no runs and 2 hits only, it's pitching 6 innings, hit 3 home runs, each one 420 or longer. Just an insane effort. It's funny, in the playoffs before that game, he was 2 for 27 at the plate, and somehow he's the MVP of that series because of that one game. Nobody argued. This one's in the gap off the 375 wall. Kike got a good jump. He's going to score all the way from first, and it's 4-3. Toronto's lead is sliced to 1. Ohtani with his 2nd hit of the day. Was that his 3rd hit of the day? That's his 3rd. 2 doubles and a home run. Well, Scherzer couldn't get him out, but neither can the lefty. Oh, hanger banger on the curveball. He took a deep breath when he hit it, and then he realized it wasn't out of the park, and he had to start running. Huge play for the Skins here. 3rd and 5 at their own 28, 27. Mariota back. He's got time. Cox. Oh, this ball's tipped and almost intercepted. Probably could have been caught, if not should have been caught. Tough to say for sure. Either way, the first punt of the game is coming up. Oh, that ball's got to be caught. This is the same guy that screwed the kickoff up. Jeez. What a fiasco. What a hideous sequence of events for that kid. Tressway back. From 27, this is a pretty good punt. 23 and 56 yards. The return will be for a few. Good job by the Chiefs this time. One of these coaches must have told them that they're going to get fined if they make a penalty on this kick, because the Chiefs went out of their way to make sure that they did not block anybody in the back or hold anybody that time. Here's Betts. Little flare to left. That's caught. 2 down now. Ohtani's representing the tying run still at 2nd. Betts shaking his head as he goes off. So the Chiefs up a touchdown and have the ball back at their own, I believe it was their own 31. As I said, I was, after the kickoff where they started that drive, probably at least a small modicum of success by Washington to get it out of there and have it to where Kansas City's not just going to have to get one first down to kick a field goal. And again, we'll see how aggressive the Chiefs are on this drive with playing with the lead. They, too, have yet to punt in this game. Mahomes threw picks on the first couple of drives. Live price coming back up 10. There is some 10.5 out there. Total is pretty much consensus 39.5 with a little bit of juice to the under. Game is sitting 14-7 KC. 8:05 to go in the third. Freeman 0 for 1. Has drawn a walk. Did steal a base. Opposite field slash into the seats. Cut fastball from Hardy there. I think Freddie's a little frustrated that he missed it. There's a base hit, fair ball down the right field line. That's going to score Otani from second. It's going to tie the game. Vladimir got an okay jump on it. Took a weird hop. No, you just couldn't get there in time. That's great athleticism by the first base ump to get out of the way. So, the decision to go to Fluharty against the top of the order backfires as he's given up 2 hits. He faced the max or the minimum 3 batters, and his day is done. They'll go to I guess they'll have to go to a righty now as the Dodgers go to their cleanup part of the lineup. 4-4, bottom 5, man on first, 2 out. Here's Pacheco for 11. Chiefs are out already near midfield. David Perdue with an interesting tweet that I'll need to read to you in a little bit. This is from earlier today. Get to a stopping point. It was one that I had keyed on mentioning earlier. I wanted to opine on this. I'm also going to give you my friend Dave Perdue's opinion on this. He had the NBA made a statement. Basically, he's reporting about the statement as well. Got camera issues at Arrowhead. The Chiefs have a first down into Washington territory. Clock ticking now, inside of 6.5 to go in the third. Dodgers live price for those interested laying between $1.60 and $2. Total between 11. It's 11.5 flat, 11.5 over a little bit. Again, for me, that's itching on the point of being too high. If the Dodgers can get up 5-4, now we're looking at even if it's they get up 6-5 or 6-4 and then 6-5, it's not to the number yet. And I don't know. It's only the 5th. I was thinking it was the 6th. Here's a catch and a fumble, and oh my God, the Redskins got tried to get and run with it. Lattimore, he didn't have it, so Rice gets it and falls back on it. Once again, a typical break for the Chiefs. Rice catches it. He's stripped. Hits his knee. Lattimore tries to pick it up. He doesn't. Instead of falling on it, and Chiefs recover. That's the kind of play when you're losing games you just don't make. And last year that play is made, the Redskins make that play. They're 3-4, and they'd be 5-2 if they made that play. It's just the way things are going. 8 fumbles for the Chiefs and 0 lost. Once again, another statistic that's not sustainable. And somehow they're on the right side of it year after year. Baffling. 8 fumbles and none lost. And they're 4-3. Trash. All right. Clock moving. Inside of 5 minutes of the third. 2nd and 8 here. Monster drive for the Skins to try to find a way to hold them only to a field goal. Holmes back. He fires one out to Rice again. This is a first down catch. Give him 9. First down to 14. All right, Varland in for the Jays against Will Smith. Righty there. Dodgers probably need to be a bigger favorite at this point. I'm a little surprised they didn't give Scherzer another chance to get an out. Smith strikes out looking on a fastball from Varland. Varland's probably the best arm the Blue Jays have left. Let's see how long they stick with him. After that, I don't trust anybody in their bullpen to get the LA guys out. Here's a quick pass by Mahomes on the outside. This is worthy. His catch is for 4 maybe. Clock inside of 4 minutes on the move now. I actually, for the first time tonight, do like the Dodgers a little bit on the side with the bullpens now involved both ways. Max being done. I thought they'd give him a chance to get through the last inning. I'm surprised by that. $1.70, $1.52 up to $1.60. It's the average, let's call it, on LA. Mahomes, too much time. Fires complete. Touchdown to Kelsey. With a 10-yarder or so. 2 straight drives to start the second half for touchdowns for the Chiefs. Yeah, the Redskins, they made their bed in the first half. You take the ball on the field in the opening drive and you throw a careless interception, and then you get 0 points off of 2 Mahomes interceptions. You put yourself in a real tough situation. There's a double-digit dog on the road in this league. Just can't make those kind of mistakes. Eight plays, 75 yards, 4:45 off the clock. Kansas City 21, Washington 7, 3:20 to go. Third quarter, hang tight for a live price. Need some water. Tunsil's night is over for the Redskins. He's got a hamstring. Let's see, commercials in both games. I was going to read you Dave Purdue's comments. Let me get to the live prices first. 4-4 top 6 in Dodger land. 60 or so is the live price, 11.5 under on the total. Football game, the Chiefs 14, dog money 42 the total, give or take, with them sitting 14. I actually like Washington a little bit if you can take 14 flat. Total 42 is pretty consistent. Dave Purdue was talking about the NBA with the statement made about the fact that the legalized books, or helped it make it easier for them to catch the prop guys for not playing their time. They still think more can be done, but again, I don't agree with that last part. There's not much else that can be done. If it was bet offshore, you're not going to catch it. No one's reporting anything offshore, but you're also not getting 80,000 or 200,000 or whatever on what they're trying to bet. I mean, when I was offshore, we would book this stuff for nickels or dimes at the most, and you wouldn't let a group of 100 people in there betting it. So it's irresponsible job by the books to take those bets to begin with. Purdue says, I applaud the legal betting market for detecting and reporting the suspicious betting patterns in the Terry Rozier and Jonte Porter cases. In my opinion, it's time for the sportsbook industry to take additional steps to disincentivize and reduce the opportunities for manipulation. I was asked last week by a non-sports news network if we were clutching our pearls over the NBA gambling scandal. I not thought about it and said absolutely not. Sports are such an important part of American culture. It's important to our kids. We should do everything we can to fight bad actors. It is possible for sports and legal gambling to coexist. We will figure out best practices. Yeah, and one of the people said, isn't the problem that the integrity monitor spotted the problem right away? I remember I spotted it myself. On some of these things, I've seen them with the college stuff in the first halves. I saw it at the time it happened. I was like, these games are not right. There's point shaving going on with the college Temple stuff, whatever. He said, Purdue says the Rozier stuff was reported when it happened by a lot of places. I didn't report it at the time because I didn't do a good enough job of looking into it. It happened right during NCAA tourney. A lot was going on, but I admittedly failed at that time. But it was out there. That's interesting. I didn't hear Dave talk about this before. Do you have any thoughts or indications how many incidents get called by monitors and don't make it to the press? I guess Rozier was high profile enough that yogurt leaked somehow. My larger point is I think increased transparency is a needed change. I think there are plenty of alerts after further investigation never produced any substance and rightfully never made public. Any instance where legitimate suspicion materializes makes it public sphere. Generally eliminating types of bets most susceptible to manipulation and or keeping limits on such bet types to a level that disincentivizes attempts at corruption. That's exactly right. Okay, so that's all I'm going to talk about that tonight. We'll get into it a little bit more. Maybe if I'm back Thursday, probably definitely on Friday night, I'll have a little bit more time to get into the nuts and bolts. We'll also have more time for things to come out. Obviously, the news cycle, everything changes on a daily basis. There's something new to report. Whether it be the prediction markets have something to come out, or there's the college players are allowed to bet on professional sports starting on November the 1st, and they just signed that into law last week. Then you've got the NHL signing the contract with the prediction markets. Then you've got the FBI getting involved with a poker game. Chauncey Billups cheating at poker allegedly. Then you've got the Rozier case where the guy's made $96 million playing basketball and somehow decides he wants to tell his friends that he's going to come out of the game early so they can make a couple $100,000. I mean, some stuff just makes no sense, and it's hard to wrap your head around it on a daily basis. Something else pops up, so I'm sure we'll have something else to talk about the next time that I'm with you guys later in the week. With that, back to the games. Roboleski in for the Dodgers here to start the 6th, 1 down, nobody on base. And the football game, 2:30 to go in the third quarter. Chiefs have it, the Redskins have it 3rd and 8 after the 2 Kansas City touchdowns to start the half. Little chopper to third base, barehanded, no chance, no play. Base hit, Barger. Third and 8, long pass. It's caught by McLaurin. They're going to call it a catch, I think. They're going to talk about it either way. They're on the Redskins sideline. Go ahead. Oh, they're saying no. I don't know. It's close. They didn't throw their hat off. If their hats are on still. Oh, one knee. His knee's in. That's a catch. Unless his hands are under the ball. It's a sternum and a knee. I do too. Why do these refs screw this up? And they're going to make him throw a challenge flag. That receiver's an animal. There's a reason why he wanted $30 million a year, and there's a reason why they're supposed to give it to him. Mariota, give him credit. That's a pretty good throw. Man, really didn't have many places to put it besides there. Blue Jays, by the way, after that little infield hit that Muncie couldn't get to, Kirk led off before that and hit a ground ball pretty hard to Freeman. Freeman beat him to the base. The Redskins are going to challenge the incomplete pass. So 1:49 to go in the third. They'll overturn that. The Redskins will have a first down. No live price, obviously, with the importance of the situation being if it's 4th down, they're going to have to punt. So first down out towards midfield or 4th and 8. Huge play. Finish your thought, Troy. I want to hear this about the expedited review. It's a fair point to make. I want to know the answer. They didn't answer it last night. That's the problem that I had. They talked about it, but Terry McAuley didn't say a word. I mean, it's just word salad. It's like listening to Kamala Harris talk for 5 minutes. And she might say stuff for 5 minutes and doesn't say anything worth answering. You're more confused than you were before she started talking. What's the point? All right. Anyways, 1:43 to go. Clock moving. Redskins have it at the Chiefs 38. Here comes a reverse. Chiefs snuffed it out. They had not only one guy had backside contained, two guys did. No chance. Here's a grounder by the Jays. Betts gets over to field on the second base side of the bag and fires to Freeman in time. Jays are done in the sixth. 4-4. So back to the 36. They somehow gave him a yard on that. Is that possible that he gained a yard? That's incredible work by his part. Like he was dead to rights for about a 3-yard loss. Play clock down to 3. Gun. Here's a quick screen to Debo, or that's number 11, McCaffrey. He's lit up by Watson before he can get going. It's going to be a loss. The problem here is the Redskins should have kicked a couple of field goals, or could have in the first half on the 4th and 3 play, at least, and didn't. And now you're in a spot where you really can't kick a field goal. You're down 14. You got to go for it. So call your best 2 plays here and figure out what you're going to try to do. If you get yourself from 3rd and 11 to 4th and 4, it's much easier to work on a 4th and 4. The playbook gets a lot bigger than if it's 4th and 11 still. From the 38, Skins are 6 for 9 on 3rd down. Nobody bothered to touch the inside linebacker, and he gets a sack, and that's now they're not going to kick a field goal or go for it. 4th is forever. 3rd quarter runs out. The Chiefs force a punt. Now the Redskins not only aren't going to win the game, they might not even have a chance to cover when it's all said and done. 51 completely untouched. That's as frustrated as I've seen Mariota ever act on the field, going back to his days in college. I don't ever remember him doing that at Oregon or in the NFL with the Titans. End of the quarter, Chiefs 21-7. Redskins have 4th and forever at midfield. Live price coming shortly. Dodgers bottom 6. 4-4 tied with Toronto. Live price. Dodgers between 190 and 210. There's 220 out there. Total is 11 flat, which I tend to agree with. Actually, going to the bottom of 6, I think 11 flat's probably a little low. Maybe 11 over money. I mean, the bottom line is if you bet over 11 flat, all you need is 1 run each way and you can't lose. I mean, 5-5 and you're dormant. And against these bullpens, like I refuse to believe that the Blue Jays are just magically going to stop at 4. And I sure don't think the Dodgers are done at 4. And the Dodgers, of course, have that extra at bat. Live price in the football, Kansas City 14.5. 37.5 over or 38.5 under are both out there. There is a 38 flat as well. I don't really have a strong opinion there. The Chiefs haven't been stopped this half. Hard to know how aggressive they're going to be in the 4th quarter once they're playing from ahead like this. The fact that they're going to get it back up by 2 touchdowns, probably somewhere at their own 15 or so. So Koufax was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1972. It's crazy how good the guy looks. He's older. He was put into the Hall of Fame 53 years ago. This Justin Herbert's doing pretty good for himself. Both the quarterbacks from Los Angeles are at this game. You got the Rams guy and the Chargers guy. Muncie steps in to lead off. It's 5, 6, and 7 here against Varland. Thanks for checking me out, y'all, tonight, by the way, on the SWEATBOX. We are into our 3rd hour of the evening. the SWEATBOX EQUINOX. Fun times. This is the one day on the sporting calendar all year. It happens every year, but only one day a year. Monday Night Football, Week 8 this year, where you've got the World Series in baseball, you've got Monday Night Football, you've got NBA regular season, you've got NHL regular season. And now, I guess it's been the last couple of years at least, the MLS Playoffs have expanded its MLS Playoff night as well. So, obviously, lots going on the sporting calendar. All throughout the month of October and into November as well, when college basketball starts in a week from now. That's when it really gets wild with the volume of games. But tonight's the only night where we actually have professional sports in all of the major sports on the same day. Varland records a strikeout, gets a swing and a miss on Muncie to start the sixth. Nothing doing there. First game of the Equinox in the NBA, Cleveland-Detroit was the only one that's on Peacock, the national TV game tonight. And it stayed under the total by a lot. The rest of them have screamed over the number. I mean, the next three are all over. Although Boston, New Orleans isn't going to get there. The Celtics are up by 1 million. They're going to cover, but it'll stay under. Ohtani, 3 for 3 in this game. The rest of the Dodgers are 4 for 18. Obviously, he played a big part in 3 of those runs, and then the home run by Teoscar Hernandez was the other one. He's up there again now, 1 for 2 tonight. The home run, obviously a big part of this one. I don't think I've ever seen a cage cam before in the World Series, showing Betts down there trying to take some swings. There's Teoscar, hits a hanger to left, dumps it in there for a hit. 1 on, 1 out. Varland's their best arm. Once the Dodgers get through him, I'm not sure who Toronto can trot out there that I would trust to get any of them out. That one just hung up. Got some communication issues with the Redskin line. They had to answer to the coach up there. Like I say, it was 4th and forever. They had no choice but to punt it. Chiefs take over at their own 6. 1 play into the 4th quarter. Here's a little out to Worthy. He catches it, breaks a tackle. That's the Washington secondary we've seen all year. Gain of 9. Edmond dumps one to left. That one's going to be caught at just in front of the warning track. 2 down. So Kike Hernandez will step in now. He and Pajes will certainly face Varland. After that, I'm not sure. I guess if Varland gets through this, maybe if he gets this guy out, would he start the 7th and then they bring in somebody else to face Ohtani? The lefty didn't work the last time, but that was also Ohtani's first opposite field hit in almost a month. I think 77 at-bats since he had a hit to the opposite field before that one. There was a run to Hunt up the middle. There's nobody for the Redskins within a mile of him when he got it. Out to the 24 now. Here's a pitch to the 3rd string running back. He gets about, 6 or 7? There is a flag. Receiver held. I know Teoscar Hernandez is not the fastest of runners, but I'd like to think that they would try to get him in motion here and get him over there if they can with 2 out. Grounder, shortstop, tries to make a throw. It's nope. Vladdy stops it early. Throw to third. Got him. Great play. Absolutely stellar from Toronto. Shortstop tried to make tried to throw over to first. Had no play really at first. Teoscar tried to go first to third on the play. Vladdy saw it, intercepted the throw. It was actually a good break for Toronto. The throw was so bad. It was actually up towards the second base side of first. Vladdy was able to go towards it, cut it off, create an angle for himself to throw Hernandez out at third. No arguing, he's out. Six, 3, 5. The Dodgers are done, and each team is committed, I believe, the last out at third in this game. So we go to the 7th. It's tied at 4 in Los Angeles. Roberts is wanting to check it. I don't think he's going to win this thing. It's not possible. It's not impossible. That angle I didn't like. Clement thinks he got him. The Jays are already sitting in the dugout. That's good enough for me. Live price isn't up yet, but I'm convinced that he was out. Sometimes it just should be out. He was out by 9 miles. It was a great throw and not necessarily the best decision, but I respect it. I mean, you got to try to force him to make a play. That's a great play by Toronto. You tip your cap and you move on. Never good to make the last out at third base, but it took a bad throw and a great throw to get you. Chiefs got a taunting penalty. I think that's on top of the hold. If they get on the first down this drive, you can go ahead and turn the football game off. It's over with. Oh, it's after the play, so it's first down after the penalty. I didn't see what happened. So they're back like where they started, but they ran 3 minutes off the clock. It's just as good. 4-6-0 for the Jays, 4-9-1 for the Dodgers as we go to the 7th. Live price Dodgers between 30 and 45. I actually think the Dodgers are cheap here too. This Varland's night may not be over yet. He might have to face Pages, but I would be surprised if they keep him in against Ohtani. And again, Toronto's bullpen, as bad as the Dodgers have been, Toronto's has had its own troubles as well. I don't trust their guys to get anybody out consistently. Well, that's a tough beat. He threw the ball, was throwing the ball to the ref, and they called a penalty on him. The Washington guy stepped right in the way. That's not a penalty. That's a terrible call. All the Chiefs do now is just get to add on yards and run clock. Yeah, well, that's a bad call by the ref. I mean, wow. Where's this commercial at in the middle of the World Series? Is that Pollo Loco? Wow, that looks good. Pollo Loco is super underrated. I know it's kind of expensive. Some of the sides are pretty good. I know it's healthier than most of this crap that you eat too. Mahomes is running around like Mahomes always does. Throws it back across his body. Don't worry, there's wide open receiver. It's Gray, the second tight end, in the field goal range. Hernandez stopped for a second. I thought he never stopped. Yeah, that's the reason you get thrown out. You can't ever hesitate. When you make that decision, you got to go. I thought he was gone. I could see when the play was developing live that he rounded second and was still going. I didn't realize that he slowed down. All right, well, anyways, Roboleski's already thrown 20 pitches. He did a good job getting through the last inning unscathed. 4-4 there. What's this to Springer? Hurt himself? Oh, man. Springer is out. Wow. So France will pinch hit in the middle of the at-bat. He took one swing and fouled it off, and that's it. He said tap out. I have to wonder what kind of immense pain must you be in to take yourself out of a World Series at-bat. He hurt himself, yeah, in the ALCS. He got whacked on the knee by a fastball from the Seattle pitcher, Wu. Oh, man. It's got something to do with his rib cage, oblique area. Yeah, he's garbanzo. You're not coming out of the game if you're not totally done. Football game, the live price with 10:22 to go. Chiefs 14.5. There is some 15 out there. They are in the field goal range. It would be a long one from Butker from here, but he could kick one. 35.5 the total. There's some 36.5 out there as well. The Sweatbox Equinox, boys and girls. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Rex Byers, your host here. 2.5 hours in. We've got sporting events in all the main sports. Today is the only day on the calendar each year for this to happen. It's always Monday Night Football, either Week 8, Week 9. Soccer started their playoffs to join the front as well. We've always got some hockey, some NBA, a World Series game, and Monday Night Football. Very unique day on the calendar. Thanks for spending some time with me sweating it out. Hunt bangs his way up the middle here. For several, Chiefs seem to be on an indeterminable march for yet another touchdown. The offense is humming, very similar to how it did in the first half last week against the Raiders. France steps in to pinch hit against Roboleski here for Toronto to start the seventh. They're back at the top of their order for the fourth time tonight. Mahomes throws it over everybody's head. It'll be 3rd and 3. Did he go? Nope. He gone. 97 in his eyeballs. France swings at ball 4. And one down in the 7th. Mahomes on 3rd and 3. Swing pass to the left. It's caught by Rice. First down. Takes it to the Washington 20. 9:10 to go. Clock continues to move. That will all but do it, most likely. Any points here would make it a 3-score game. Chopper to Roboleski. He makes the play. Luke's is thrown out at first. 2 down. I won't be hanging out much longer, but I'm not going to make it all the way to the end. Give me just a minute here to top off the water and hit the facility. I'll be back in about 45 seconds. Hang tight. Well, that didn't take long. 13 plays, 94 yards, 7:02 off the clock. Looks like it was Rice again for the touchdown. 28-7 Chiefs. And that'll be probably the last of the focus on the football. I'll give you a live update one more time here. Obviously, the big play was that first drive of the second half when Mahomes found Hunt after he was maybe going to scramble, maybe not, and the linebacker lost him. And Chiefs went up 14-7, and since then it's been one-way traffic. Again, the Redskins had their chances before halftime. Only in a 7-7 game, and they never punted once. The one interception on the first drive and the two stoppages on downs will be looked upon rather ruefully later on. But bad defenses eventually get exposed, and that's what's happened in the second half here. The Chiefs have basically gotten 25 yards of penalties on that drive, and they started at their own 6. That was 119 yards of offense on that drive. Let's see. Blake Trinan checks in to face Vladdy. Roboleski's day is done. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this idea. Trinan's kind of a disease. His postseason hasn't been awful, but he and Scott were both fairly high-priced bullpen additions. Neither one of them were effective during the season. Scott's actually been out for personal reasons throughout the playoffs. Trinan's been largely ineffective most of his stints, but it's a high leverage spot, certainly with Vladdy, and all the guy does is continue to hit. First one of the night for him. Trinan must face 3 or get out of this inning, so he's going to stay in there. Toronto goes 4-5-6 here. 4-4 top 7. I'm going to get you through the stretch, and I might call tonight after that. Looks like with the football game being non-competitive at this point, you guys can sweat the baseball out without my help. Bichette steps in, righty again. For those of you, we talked earlier in the week about the possible weather situations and the implications of the hurricane that's in Jamaica right now. That is going to veer off to the north and east. It's going to miss the U.S. mainland. There will be no secondary efforts or anything out of that, no rain, nothing. As a matter of fact, the rainfall yesterday that we got in the severe weather in Florida was far more worse than anything that you're going to get in the coming week. There was torrential rain all through central Florida yesterday and last night. But nothing from this system that's in the tropics right now. It's going to wreck Jamaica and parts of eastern Cuba and into the east of the Bahamas and towards Bermuda eventually. But that won't bother the U.S. mainland. Combination of a couple of fronts and a couple of other low pressure systems coming out of the States and into the Caribbean are effectively going to shove that hurricane to the east. Thankfully enough for the U.S. mainland at least. Unfortunately for others to our south and especially to the east. But looks like the weather for this weekend, for those of you handicapping for next weekend's football already, I didn't see anything when I was doing some work earlier on the football that would lead me to believe that the weather is going to be a factor really anywhere. We're not quite to the point yet where it's too cold yet either. There are some freeze warnings like in the Buffalo, Rochester, northeast Ohio area, and there is a freeze warning for Denver and Fort Collins and the I-25 corridor in Colorado, north of Colorado Springs, but nothing of any importance that would change the way the football's being played. Basically, no precipitation. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. If you're handicapped in football, just do it like you always do. The 1-2 pitch to Bichette is fouled away. But again, if something changes in the weather front, I'll certainly let you know when I'm back here on Friday. Certainly discuss the weekend weather. This is getting to the time of year where weather does become a factor in football games, particularly if you're talking about night games with cold. Redskins will start this drive having been outgained 259 to 42. That's just in the second half. The fact that the Chiefs were able to gain 113 yards on one drive is just a little bit insane. Bichette swings at a fastball that would have been strike three, fouls it away. Vladdy was on the move there. I like the thought process. Try to take second. If it doesn't work, you can got Bichette leading off in the eighth. So we had an earthquake today in Guadalupe. It's not something you see every day. Redskins on 3rd and 9 are throwing it to the tight end Ertz, who's a little behind him. And they're to the point where they're going to punt. So I'm tapping out on the football game. I'll give you one more live number here shortly. There's a base hit to right. It's off the wall. Vladdy's going to try to score, and he does. The throw is offline. He's safe all the way from first. He scores. Oh, and the aggressiveness pays off for the Jays. Teoscar Hernandez's throw was awful, but I think if he had taken his time and set his feet and thrown it to the plate, he would have had a chance to get him. That throw was way offline, and he didn't really try to set himself at all. It was just so far off, the catcher had to go way out of his way to get to it. So Toronto takes a 5-4 lead on the single by Bichette down the line. I take it back. That's going to be a double. I mean, it hit the wall, but it bounced right kind of weird. Teoscar was not really in position. I don't blame Vladdy for running on that. When I first saw it live, I thought there's no way he can score from first on that. Yeah, I mean, he played it bad off the wall, but I mean, for being at your home park, having a misplay like that's frustrating for sure. And then the throw was worse. It's one thing to make kind of a mistake when you're trying to field it like that, but the fact that they'd have been much better if they'd have let the ball hit him. Well, that's the audio man from Fox down in that corner. He should have took one for the team. They want the Dodgers to win, don't they? That would have been a ground rule double. God, I got to give the Toronto third base coach some credit. They sent him home. I mean, any sort of a decent throw gets him. I don't see how he would have been saved. I mean, who knows? Okay, one more football. See if anybody's dealing it with 7 minutes to go or not. They may have tapped out. Yeah, I think the plug has been pulled. I don't even see a total. That'll do it for the football. 6:46 left. Kansas City's up 28-7. The only sweat in this game now is if you have over. No, so there's no sweat. Second half total. Second half total sitting 21 after 14 in the first. Second half total was 24. You need to find a way to get at least a field goal for the push. Trinan, it's a little nubber, the third baseman, no play. Varsho beats the throw. No throw, sorry. Muncie had no throw, nothing to it. First and second, 2 down. Man, I just don't know why this is the guy they went to. Why does it have to be Trinan? Kirk, 2 for 3 with a single, a 3-run homer, and a ground out to the first baseman. Cue shot there by Varsho. Trinan still in there. He's thrown 14 pitches. I think he's eligible to be out of there, but I guess it's righty-righty. They're going to leave him in there against Kirk. Little nubber to the second baseman. Thrown to first. Inning is over. The Jays get 3 hits in the inning. and they take the lead 5-4. Stretch time in LA, they lead the Dodgers 5-4. And I'm going to give you a live price here. I'm going to call it. You guys can handle it the rest of the way from here. Chiefs have scored 3 touchdowns, 8 plays 80 yards, 8 plays 75 yards, 13 and 94. The 94-yard touchdown, you actually had 119 yards because of the 25 in penalties. So no reason to sit here and watch this again. Oh, wow, Mahomes takes a sack on the first play of the drive. No clue about why they're going to throw a flag on that too. Yeah, that's a joke. He let him go, and Mahomes fell down. And it's so hard to root for Kansas City when he does that shit. Like, honestly, how can anybody sit here and watch this and really say this is a penalty? But this is not a penalty. Like, he's got him, lets him go. I don't know. I didn't hear when the whistle was blown, so I can't make a comment about who knows when he quit trying or not. That sounds about right. Frustration coming out would be the correct answer. All right, live price in the baseball. Hang on 1 second here. It's 5-4 Toronto. Again, stretch time in LA. Clock moving for the Chiefs. Maybe they'll run this thing out. Toronto laying $1.35 to $1.45 on the live price. I actually, like I said, I like the Dodgers here. I don't think they're going to be ending up with 4 runs here. I could be wrong, but I feel like they're going to get the Toronto part of the bullpen that's not quite as good. Toronto's already used a lot of their high leverage guys here early. I would look at a Dodger bet live at plus 15 to plus 25, which is available now. Total 11 over 64, which I also like over that. It's really hard for me to think that it won't be 5-all pretty soon. 11.5 under money. I would lean over that. Don't love it, but again, 6-5 could be the final. I don't think it will be the final. So we'll see. Again, over earlier at 7 was the best bet of the game here that I recommend. I would lean over in this spot as well. Not enough to do anything else with it though. At this point on the sides, what are the Redskins doing? The guy went to go see Mahomes, and then he stopped, and he could have made the play. All right. Anyways, that's that. I'm calling it a night. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. The Equinox Sweatbox. I will be back with you not before Friday, but likely on Friday evening. We've got a decent card, college football-wise. There are 3 games. Memphis State plays against Rice. North Carolina is at Syracuse, and Sam Houston is at Louisiana Tech. There is no baseball on Friday night. World Series. Oh no, I'm sorry. There will be. Most likely there will be. As long as there's not a sweep out here. Game 6 will be in Toronto on Friday night. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday baseball. Thursday night off. Then Friday back in Toronto. And if there's a Game 7, it will be Saturday. And of course, we'll be here for all that as well. UFC next weekend. College football card on Saturday as well. NFL next Sunday. So I'll be with you guys. Taking a few days off here again. Fixing some stuff on the back end and hanging out with my parents and obviously health situations. So all good. And we'll be back, like I say, on Friday. You need anything before that, you know how to link me. Otherwise, be well. Take care. God bless. Good night. Again, thanks for checking me out here on the Sweatbox.